Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back to Watson's Wagons, and we're going to continue on with the model reviews. And I thought, you know, I have a whole bunch of these Willys kits, and they're all different scales. I got a couple of them that are 1/35. I've got 3 of the 1/6 scale versions. So you've got the one that you see behind me. There is the British SAS version, and there's one that's got the armor plating on it. The one we're going to talk about tonight is the ITALERI 1/24 scale Willys, and this was copyrighted back in 2010, I think, and it's an interesting kit. So here's the box. Can you see it? All right, and yeah, ITALERI, made in Italy, and it's 1/24 scale, kit number 3721, and let's just get right to it, okay? Okay, ITALERI. Special edition, comes with a photographic reference manual, which is kind of nice, and I'll show you that in just a second. And anyhow, here's the 3721 is the kit number. You can still find these out there. You have to look on eBay or whatever, but the kit's out there. So here is the side of the kit. And of course, it's got some information on here, decal set, and you'll notice on here there's only 1, 2, 3 sets of sprues. For a kit this big, I would expect more. I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, here you have the booklet that came with the model. Nice and durable, semi-gloss, whatever. It's got a little history on here about the Jeep. It has actual photos and you know, wartime pictures, beginning of the production, back when Bantam was doing their thing, and just sort of how it evolved, okay? And then, of course, you've got some nice photos in here that any modeler would like to have for references for any type of detail work that you would like to do with your kit. So, yeah, nice booklet, and pretty cool. On the back, well, they listed as camouflage, but they're painting schemes, right? And you got the one here that's got the Emperor of Japan and Hitler, and I forget who else is on there. They actually come with that decal set for that particular version of the 88th Infantry Division. And of course, you got invasion stars. Here's the photo right here. Okay. 1st Armored Division markings. 34th Infantry Division markings. Notice the yellowish color of the star. And this does come with a soft top option, so you can go either way with this particular kit. Okay, here we've got our camouflage. Pretty nice. Brazilian. Now, how many people build a Brazilian version? That's pretty neat. Okay, and anyhow, really cool book, and that comes with the kit. All right, nice little memento to have on the sidelines. All right, instructions. Just like any other model kit, you have a parts list. Do your inventory, make sure you got what you're supposed to have, and then the instructions sort of open up like this, starting with a chassis, and you build up a rolling chassis just like we discussed before. Okay, the body in this particular case is all separate pieces. You'll have to assemble the sides, the back, the floor, you know, the tub or whatever, and move on to getting the wheels on. The wheels are very interesting. There is no rubber in here. These are 2 plastic halves of a wheel that get put on a rim. So there will be some cleanup work that's going to be needed to hide the seam on that particular tire. And then you can see how the kit just sort of moves on to its finishing touches. Here's the decal set. And you have all the different versions that are listed in the book. Very nice. And now the kit. Just a matter of comparison, I want to show you what the 1/35th scale looks like compared to 1/24th scale. Okay, so this is the TACOM kit that I showed you in a previous video, and you can get an idea of how small 1/35th is compared to 1/24 scale. All right, obviously the sides are already pre-molded in here. You have options for toolboxes and things like that. The sump in this thing is completely out of scale. You can't do anything with the toolboxes unless you get creative and cut them. But there's nothing that goes up underneath here to give you what you need like this one does. And there's some inconsistencies with the firewall in this 1/24th scale version. Okay, so just to give you an idea, 1/24th, 1/35th. All right, this kit only comes with 2 sprues, A, B, and C. We're looking at sprue B. You can see that your combat rims are here. You've got your spare wheel here, and check out the spare tire carrier. Now, this is so not accurate because it is a kind of a stamped metal piece that there's actually triangular slots that are in there that you can see light through, which is all kind of folded into itself and welded. Again, a kit this size you would think would capture those types of details, but it's a 2010 kit. It's 9 years old, and maybe they just didn't have the technology at the time. Fuel tank doesn't look anything like the right fuel tank. The grill is close. The marker lights are molded right in there. You do have hood latches and windshield latches in place here. The corner and side body handles, the dash is fairly well detailed. The rear bumper or the cross member has the bumperettes already attached. And just like any other kit, the top bow assembly is in 3 pieces. So there's some consistency there, right? What else can we talk about? Here's the canvas top and the back. The details are not carried to the interior of the canvas, so it's of a smooth plastic with relief marks from where the mold had released it. The hood does not have a lube order chart molded into it like the smaller kit does. The crash pads here appear to be pre-molded into the side of this vehicle, and the side portion of the fenders are part of the body tub. All right, notice that the fenders here are separate. So a lot of differences between this kit and the TACOM kit. This requires a little bit more effort and work if a guy wants to make it as accurate as possible. Now, what I do like is that they do have the support arms here. I don't know if you can see those for the fenders, which is a good, accurate thing to have. So other than that, yeah, needs a little work. This is sprue A. Sprue A has your seats. Remember I told you about the tire halves. They're all plastic, so they're going to have to go together. And your engine details, I don't know if I'm getting this close enough. The engine details are toyish at best. There's things that are rounded off. There's a lot of details that are missing in this engine block compared to the 1/35th scale kit. And it almost seems like the larger you go with these models, the more that that designs and molds are sacrificed. And so that's kind of a problem for me. I really don't appreciate that at all. And what are you going to do, right? Okay, so the frame is separate, but it's got the leaf springs already attached to the frame members. And we've got our cross members here for the frames. What I don't see are the body mounts. the the flathead, just no detail at all in any of the engine components. These are your brake backing plates, and it looks like they tried to capture two of the eccentrics. They're missing the dimples and the two other eccentrics that go in here. However, they do have what looks to be the bleeder screw that comes out of the master cylinder is visible on this particular kit. The whole radiator and headlight assembly is completely off and not accurate at all. Exhaust system, fairly close. Steering wheel is good. But that's pretty much it. And yeah, I'm sorry to say this, but this is a disappointment as far as the detail is concerned. And now this is interesting. The inner and outer tie rods and steering linkages and stuff are individual pieces which allow the front end to be able to turn. So we're going to have to do some research on here, but it looks like the pivot points are on there, the steering knuckles, those things will mount on here, but we have actual pivot points which may allow the steering to turn, which is cool. Here's the bell crank, and yeah, we'll have to capture that when it's time to do so. The last sprue are the clear parts. I'll just leave them inside the package here. But you have your two windshield pieces, and for some reason they included a clear piece for the canvas top and the back. Your headlight lenses are right here. There are no, oh, they're there. You can barely see it, but the pattern cut into the glass appears to be there, but it's not very deep. So there you have it. Now the problem with this is you can't open the inner windshield frame on this because it is integrated with the overall windshield. So you lose that ability unless a guy wants to cut this frame out very carefully and try to position it. All right. So that's pretty much it for the ITALERI kit. Comes with some cool accessories and books. Really awesome decals, but it doesn't make up for the lack of detail that could have been in this model. So, yep, I'm afraid to even give it a grade, but that's it. That's the ITALERI 1/24 scale kit. And if you're looking for something that's larger, you obviously have room to play with it and make adjustments and do some scratch building on it. But straight out of the box, yeah, it'll be a decent looking kit. It'll be a good 10-footer. So there you have it. Very short review. Anyways, look, I'm not beating up the company, right? The model is an older model, and so some of the technologies that they're using on the modern kits today probably didn't exist back then, and they did the best they could with what they got. I like the kit because I can build it and I can build on it, right? And I can improve it. And so again, as with any other model that I'm going to review, when I start building them, I will capture the build process and show you guys what I did. Okay, let me take some still photos, add them to the video, and that's it. We're gonna let it rock and roll. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned because I have a whole bunch of other Willys model kits that we're gonna take a look at. Yeah, Watson's Wagons, we're out of here.